Thanks, Ravi. Good morning.
Ravi.
Yeah, we'll turn it down.
Speaker on.
Good morning, good morning. Here we are again
Isn't it on?
in this beautiful moment. Beautiful Namaste Village with the most beautiful people, angels all around. It's so good to be here. We miss Brother James Francis. I really like his energy. It's missing here, but we know that in spirit he's here. We are going to start before the opening prayer. What are we doing? Tell me, Ravi.
The opening prayer?
No. What we are doing technically here.
We're good.
Okay, good.
I don't know why it's not.
Is this sound on?
It's not going to come through there. It needs to come through here. I don't know why it's not.
Because the mic was off.
Don't do it.
Is the Zoom audience hearing you?
Yes, they are here,
Okay.
and they can hear
So
me.
let me turn this on.
Minor detail. The microphone needed to be turned on.
I think it's on. Just...
It's on.
Battery problem.
God, they're both dead. I have to change them. Sorry.
It's okay. Okay, let's do an exercise. When I was here, everybody can hear me, no, on the Zoom call. Yes. When I was here on March, we did an exercise because I taught a class, Keys to the Kingdom. And I did like an introduction. I don't know if you remember this exercise, but it's really interesting. I'm going to ask everybody, including those of you who are at the Zoom call, I want you please to, the line we have here in the hand, exactly, put those two hands together, and usually they are like the same size. You see, it's the same size. Now, take your right hand and 12 times, looking at the fingers, please say, grow longer. So let's start doing 12 times, looking at your fingers, okay? Grow longer, 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 grow longer. Now, put your hands again. It does, yes. Now, 3 times, okay? Back to normal, back to normal, back to normal. Go back. Well, guys, it works only with the fingers, okay? So, what did I say? Oh my God! Yeah, that was, oh my God! Listen, that powerful is our mind. That powerful. And we all know that. We use how many times we have heard that we use our minds to create the world. So this is the power. We have the power of creating our lives and the lives of all around us. And I want to ask you, all of us, because this is a reflection, are you aware of what you are creating? I mean, are you really aware of what you're talking? Every day when we say, good morning, hi, how are you? What do you have in your heart and in your mind? We are literally creating our lives. So are you consciously aware of your thoughts, your words, your actions. Because it's not that we deny how we feel. For example, yesterday I told you that that I am doing the lessons, the Course in Miracles lessons again. This maybe for 7th time. I just love it because I love the centeredness of those lessons. And yesterday I started doing the lessons again like on April. So I think yesterday I was in 101 lesson, which is I share God's will for me of perfect happiness. And then if you read that lesson, it says, accept God's will. So what I did today, I decided in the morning, consciously, because that's the first thing I do in the morning, my lesson, besides some reading with Jack, I decided to be consciously aware of choosing over and over and over to agree with God's will. I would say the whole day, I accept your will. Now there were thoughts of worries, like we have our house on sale still in Orlando, and I had to prepare a seminar for the World Parliament of Religions. I'm going to do a presentation there. So worries, I didn't reject those thoughts. I take a deep breath. It will take me 10 seconds. And I say, okay, Holy Spirit, I give you this worry. I accept God's plan for me of happiness. So what I'm doing there, I am not denying or rejecting or the worldly things that come to my mind, which is natural. We are human beings. So I accept them, but I release them. I gave it to the Holy Spirit. And then I reaffirm my decision of accepting God's will for me, which is perfect happiness. It's beyond of what we can plan for ourselves. So I invite you to consciously let us heal the whole planet. Let us shower the planet with love, because as James says in a song, shower the people you love with love. What better than thoughts of forgiveness, blessings, gratitude? We are showering the planet with our thoughts, with our energy, with our actions. So let's be diligent on that. And talking about being diligent, I'm going to invite my beloved husband to read the reflection that our brother James Francis sent yesterday. Let us all
Give me
close
one moment. I just want to say that when she did this morning about God's will for me is perfect happiness over and over this morning in her head, she didn't tell me. Now, this is the first I've heard of it. But she was so centered, she even agreed to clean the toilet this morning. So it worked. I mean, it was amazing. Okay, now you can do the introduction.
It's true. I was just accepting. So I invite you to take a deep breath and let us take these beautiful holy words that our brother James Francis sent, like a meditation and a reflection. Let us receive those words into our hands, our hearts, our minds, all our being. Inhaling and exhaling.
Begin by planting good seeds, and you'll surely reap a good and abundant harvest. Every desire plants itself in the ground of your consciousness, and then grows until it bursts through the ground into the light. Set your mind upon the desires of the soul, and your harvest will bring goodness to many. But if you set your mind upon earthly desires, then the harvest will ultimately wither, because its roots are not anchored and strong. I'm going to read that again. If you set your mind upon earthly desires, then the harvest will ultimately wither, because its roots are not anchored and strong. You are anchored and strong when you monitor your thoughts and desires as a wise merchant monitors his or her purse. It will not be taken from him or her by the thief or lost when running uncaringly through the busy streets. Thank you, James, for those wonderful metaphors.
Amen. Wow. Love it, love it. That we were reading yesterday, that reflection, and that reminded me something that the Buddha said, and it says, we are shaped by our thoughts. We become what we think. When the mind is pure, joy follows like a shadow that never leaves. Now I ask you, what is to have a pure mind? When the mind is pure. And James Francis is inviting us to put good seed in our minds. Remember that Jesus says that we have to become like children? Actually, he says that the kingdom of heaven belongs to children. And we say things like, we must born again if we want to enter the kingdom of heaven. It is that purity. There was something here that I love. If you set your mind upon earthly desires, then the harvest will ultimately wither, because its roots are not anchored and strong. You are anchored and strong when you monitor your thoughts and desires as a wise merchant monitors his purse. I'm talking about awareness. Let us be consciously aware of what we are thinking, what we are saying. I have seen people talking about all this situation in the planet. I'm not saying to deny them. Again, is to see them and actively looking for the right solution, which is really surrender to the Holy Spirit actively, and then to say, I'm going to be part of the solution. But I have seen people like enjoying talking about all this situation, and this is going to happen, and this is like an entertainment. Wow, look at what's happening. We are going to be close. This is going to happen. We are creating our life experience, beloved ones. It's really to be active in what we think, what we say. Again, please do not deny your emotions, your feelings, because they get buried. Take a deep breath and say, Holy Spirit, I'm feeling sad, or I'm feeling worried, or I am really angry. Whatever is going on, and say, but I give these feelings, I give these emotions to you strongly, and then affirm, I want God's will for me. Over and over. This is like breathing. Do you stop breathing? Let me not breathe now. No, we breathe constantly. This is a way of living. This is a way of being, constantly, actively. You have something to say, esposo mío?
No, you're doing great. You took the words out of my mouth. Even if I had them, I give them to you.
Thank you, thank you. What about Vicky? Vicky has something to share with us before a surprise that I have for you.
Here I am, Johannys. Good
Hi,
morning.
Vicky.
Well, I'm with you always, and that's really the way of life, to accept our feelings. You know, you look at little children. Little children can have a temper tantrum, but if they bring the temper tantrum to a parent, they have that temper tantrum, and a wise parent allows them to. And it fizzles itself out because it's sustained by something that's not true, by some kind of fear. And the same with us. Our parent, the Holy Spirit, lets us have fits of whatever it is. And it fizzles itself out because we brought it to a true place that doesn't resist anything. And what I learned, I would say most recently, is when I let my own emotions come up and bring them to that altar, to the Holy Spirit, and have a big temper tantrum of whatever it is, and leave it there. When I come present into my day again, my focus is on simply accepting myself and my brothers, not agreeing. For years, I believed it meant that we all agreed and it looked like we all got along. It may not look like we get along. My focus is to stay with the light in my brother, where there is only getting along, where there is only true harmony. Not worry about the appearances of discord. And I think this lesson more than ever is brought because it's to the surface politically, culturally. There are great divides in the politics and take vaccine, don't take vaccine, vote this way, don't vote that way. It doesn't matter. What matters is that we accept each other, not necessarily ever agree from the most, the wildest cultural idea to the most personal things. It can be little personal things in a family. Forgiveness does not mean agreeing on externals. It means agreement on the internal identity that we share. And that does not depend upon my brother seeing it, only upon me seeing it. Yes. So if my brother believes that agreement is what's important, I welcome that open discussion and let him, but I do not engage it. But what I do is listen and recognize the call for help. And I stay present with my brother, which is difficult for me sometimes to listen to someone go on and on about something maybe I don't agree with, but I listen for the call for help. I'm not listening to the externals. This is what Jack was meaning the other day when he said he lives from the inside out. We are called to live from the inside, where we are children of God, where we are carefree and trusting and loving God, and not trying to figure things out on the external situations that we find ourselves in, but loving our brother by listening to him and loving him, but certainly not engaging with battle and trying to be right. Let's just be happy that we share one light and bless our brothers as they express themselves. Grateful they have breath to express themselves. Grateful that they have a place that they believe in or whatever it is, because we recognize what is true. It's like keeping a focus on the light in one another and not losing that focus because of the dialogue that is external, but keeping that inner communion. And then we extend it naturally by blessing our brother. And whether there's agreement or disagreement externally, it's irrelevant. We are at peace by letting everything be what it is. Let all things be exactly as they are.
Thank you.
Thank
Wow.
you, Johanna.
Beautiful, Vicky. Thank you.
Thank
Wow.
you.
And thank you. It's the way you say things that I love it. I love it.
Thank you, my dear.
And let us remember that it's not what happened outside. It's our interpretation of the situations that really hurt us. We have no control in some way of, I mean, if somebody says something, but we have total control of our reactions. That's our freedom. I cannot react for Jack, how much I love him, but I can't. I cannot react for anybody. I have total
You have total dominion.
total dominion, thank you, of how I react to the things that are going on. So let us take, that dominion and to recognize it, and we are choosing constantly what do we say, what we think, how we react. That's our freedom. And then how we react is really going to manifest in our life. You see? Anyway, are you ready for the surprise? Okay, we are going to sing a song en español, in Spanish. I told you that we are going to learn Spanish here. That's everybody. Okay, this is a song that we use as a theme for my ministry. I have a ministry in Spanish, Unity para Todos, Unity for All. I wrote that song. And what it says is, in truth, is a cha-cha. But I'm not going to sing it as a cha-cha. Latin people, we really like to be happy and to dance, so I said, okay, how I can make the congregation to be really exciting from the beginning. But we are going to do it like a mantra here, okay, because it's easier to sing. It says, abro mi corazón a descubrir la presencia de Dios. It's I open my heart to discover the presence of God. And then abro mi corazón a recibir lo que viene de Dios, which is I open my heart to receive what comes from God. Can you put the words, please? And we are going to, why don't we practice the pronunciation? Abro mi corazón a descubrir la presencia de Dios. Perfect. And then abro mi corazón a recibir lo que viene de Dios. What happened with the words there? So it's easy. Abro mi corazón a descubrir la presencia de Dios, which is I open my heart to discover the presence of God. Abro mi corazón a recibir lo que viene de Dios. Let's see. Abro mi corazón a descubrir la presencia de Dios. Abro mi corazón a recibir lo que viene de Dios. We are going to sing that over and over and over until we learn that. Okay. Is that okay? Yes. Okay. Abro mi corazón a descubrir la presencia de Dios. Abro mi corazón a recibir lo que viene de... A little bit faster, everybody. Abro mi corazón a descubrir la presencia de Dios. Sí. Abro mi corazón a recibir lo que viene de Dios. Again, louder. Abro mi corazón a line. It's beautiful. Abro mi corazón a descubrir la presencia de Dios. Abro mi corazón a recibir lo que viene de Dios. A recibir lo que viene de Dios. A recibir lo que viene de Dios. Y lo que viene de Dios es siempre bueno. What did I say?
That which comes from God is always good.
Well, we are going to sing this song again tomorrow, okay, until we learn. This is the first verse, and we are going to learn the whole song.
And then we're all going to dance cha-cha.
And then that's on Monday. Anyway, beloved ones, thank you for being here. It is great we are going to do the prayer for protection. Remember that while we have our beloved Robbie here, thank you, working hard. Thank you very much. We are going to say our style, no? The light of God surrounds us. I am the light of God. So with a spirit of gratitude and really, really, really committed to spend the whole day in this state of gratitude, in a state of awareness of God's presence, in a state of bringing light to the planet, consciously deciding that we are the light of God. We say together, the light of God surrounds us. I am the light of God. The love of God enfolds us. I am the love of God. The power of God protects us. I am the power of God. The presence of God watches over us. I am the presence of God. Wherever we are, God is, and all is well. Amen, amen, and amen. I'll see you tomorrow, everybody. Blessings to you. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
It's
I
been-
love you all.
I love you.
Namaste.
Wonderful,
Namaste. Thank
wonderful
you.
meeting. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank
All
you,
right.
John.
Are you ready to sing again?
Yeah.
Abro mi corazón a descubrir la presencia de Dios. Abro mi corazón a recibir lo que viene de Dios. A recibir lo que viene